Hello everyone, this is Cliff. Welcome back to our Let's Play of Dark Souls, the Prepare to Die edition. Now, at this point, we're wanting to turn Anor Londo dark. So, the easiest way to do this is grab a bow, any bow, and your cheapest arrows. Come into this room, and take a pot shot at Guinevere. Any hit will, quote-unquote, kill her. Basically, at this point, you get a cutscene.
Thou that tarnishest the godmother's image, I am Gwyndolin. And thy transgression shall not go unpunished. Thou shalt perish in the twilight of Anor Londo.
Now, actually, as long as you're hollow, doing that makes Anor Londo a lot safer place. A good number of the enemies disappear, with the exception of the painted guardians. I know stick around. Also, a few other enemies will show up in their place, but they are one-off enemies, and you don't really have to worry about them a whole lot. Now, this does open you up to player versus player combat. If someone is a member of Gwyndolin's covenant, he can invade you as a spirit of vengeance, and that you do have to watch out for. That kind of goes both ways, because really turning Anor Londo dark is not something that most players are going to do. If somebody's in dark Anor Londo, they kind of know what they're doing. So right now, obviously, our lock-on range, just like in most dark areas, our lock-on range is not what it used to be. There are two enemies right here that replace the Tower Knights. But again, these are one-off enemies that will kill one time and they won't come back. That one is using a Balder set, while the other one is using, I believe, an Iron Armor set with a Great Shield. And as you can see, not quite as easy to do damage to him, especially using Pyromancy. But we've taken care of the Balder, the female Balder Knight, and now things are going to get a lot simpler. So at this point, I should say that nothing changes as far as the blacksmith, the giant blacksmith. You could still use his services. So if you're worried about that, there's no need. Now, there will be a fight a little bit later on with the Firekeeper, who was at the first bonfire in Anor Londo. But as you can see, not nearly as dangerous. If we go up here, the knight's not up there. When we go outside in a few minutes, you're gonna notice a very big difference. And so, you know, turning Anor Londo dark is kind of a cool little extra that they threw into the game. And I'll probably end up having to brighten this up a little bit before I upload it, because it does tend to record darker than my screen. So here is the Firekeeper. Right here.
So it was you, was it? How dare you produce a blade upon a deity? How did you ever get this? I shall end your suffering.
Yeah, I kind of cut her speech a little short there. She's not terribly difficult to beat, as you can see.
This man is a threat. Master.
So I'm going to pick up another Firekeeper soul, and I will actually reinforce that Estus flask off camera. Now, I should say, the first time I recorded this, the game froze up on me, actually, when I tried to use the bonfire down below. So you're going to get a little bit of a cut in there. But we are going down to attack Dark Sun Gwyndolin. So we'll just run downstairs, and this goes back to the tomb that I've showed you several times in previous videos. So what we're going to do is, obviously the game's going to freeze up here when I try to activate this bonfire. the thing is, when you die in Dark Anor Londo, and I forgot to actually turn the stairs back down. When you die in Dark Anor Londo, you go back to the original bonfire. The very first bonfire after you're dropped off by that gargoyle becomes your home bonfire for this area. If you use a homeward bone or a spell, you'll go back there. So just to be aware, you do go back there. You cannot use that bonfire because obviously we killed the, and this is where the game froze up, because we killed the keeper of the bonfire. But you can warp around. So even though you get pushed back to the first bonfire, you can warp to the other two. So I ended up spooling up the game, starting everything back over, and we will get to that right after this. Okay, so after the crash, I made my way back to this bonfire. I was very close. It ended up putting me right back in the area where we fought the keeper of the first bonfire. So what I've done is this. I have equipped my crest shield because it has a better magic resistance. And I've equipped the Xanthos gloves because they're a little bit lighter and they have better magic resistance. Also, spell Stoneplate Ring and Speckled Stoneplate Ring just purely for magic resistance. So my magic defense is actually at 330. That's actually fairly high. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through this bonfire, and at that point we will face Dark Sun Gwyndolin. Very heavy magic user. You want to stay on the move, zigzag back and forth as much as you can. He's actually fairly weak to fire, so this sword should do some heavy damage to him. He doesn't have a tremendous amount of hit points, but he can actually hit pretty hard. He has one attack in particular that is very deadly, and it's very hard to avoid it. We're going to step through, and he's going to get pissed off at us.
Heretic. First thou offendeth the Godmother, and now thou see fit to trample upon the tomb of the great Lord. I am the Dark Sun Gwyndolin. Let the atonement for thy felonies commence.
Okay, bit over dramatic. But that's his MO. He basically bolts off. And that's the one you got to watch out for. That right there. Those you can avoid. And it really helps to, I don't know, put my shield up for some damn strength. Okay. And that's really the most difficult part. Is actually attacking him, but you can attack him, as you can see through that. Now that one you got to watch out for, right there, and right there, and apparently right here. You asshole! Why are you doing that? Skinny little bitch. Yeah, he screwed himself by staying around a little bit too long that time. As you can see, you can really damage the shit out of this dude. And as you can see, he can actually damage the shit out of you. That's the one you gotta watch out for, though. I knew that was gonna hit me. Yeah, I got too close to him and I was running in too much in the same direction. So, obviously, this guy's not necessarily the most difficult. He's just probably the most damned aggravating. Okay, one more of those. That's really the only attack you really have to watch out for. You can block most of the others. Uh-oh. stuck around a little bit too long. Now this, they'll impact on the wall. Okay, that's him being an asshole. Be about the most aggravating son of a bitch. Like I say, if you can hide behind the walls on that attack and this arrow attack here, that's no big deal. You just desperately need to watch out for that very powerful wind-up attack. There we go.
Oh, heretic, swathed in dark, an eternal curse upon thee.
Aw, that's a shame. And so we get the soul of Gwyndolin. Oh shit. I missed out on that. Oh well. So, not too bad. Despite the fact that this hall looks infinite, you can actually get to this point right here, at which point the fight becomes pretty easy. So we're gonna crack this open and get a miracle. Yay. Okay, so there's another treasure. Crack this open and get the brass set. No, I don't think there's anything behind here. No. Tear up this urn. No apparent reason. Over here. Tear up that chair. No apparent reason. And this is a treasure chest, so we'll open it. And, well, shit. Okay. Stingy bastards. Okay. So, that is the fight with Dark Sun Gwyndolin. Mostly aggravating. You do have to watch out for that kind of cluster of magic arrows followed up by a big magic blast. The cluster of arrows can screw your blocking up enough that blast will cut right through it. Or you can just take nickel and dime damage, kind of like I did, and that blast comes in and can finish you off. But at this point in the game, you face tougher bosses. So, we're going to head back up to this bonfire. And at this point, what I'm probably going to end up doing is turning one of the bows into the Dark Moon bow. And basically, we've completed everything that we want to do in Anor Londo. The next video will probably start out in Blighttown, and we'll head towards the Great Hollow and do the Great Hollow Ash Lake, those two areas. Then at that point, we'll be free to, you know, I guess probably should fight Manus. Maybe do a video on Calamite, and definitely do the end game, the killing of the First Flame. So, until next time, this is Cliff. I hope everybody takes care.